So did you do it? Did you have time to make a cup of tea between the two shows? Pour yourself a gin and tonic. Get yourself a glass of red wine. Yes, it's show 2 of ESC Fan TV's Eurovision Spectacular this evening. The road to Malmö continues. And with me, I have a panel of guests ready to talk about all things Latvian and all things Melodifestivalen semi-final 2. And joining me, as always, we have Phil and Michelle. Good evening.
Hello. We didn't go to bed till 4:30. Thank you very much, Italy.
I never knew that San Remo show went on for so long. I fell asleep after literally I said, "Good morning, Australia."
Yeah, we knew and we still did it.
Yeah, it's at least sort of 2:30, or 1:30 in the morning, UK time.
Wow. Well, thank you guys so much for being on here as well. Also joining us, we've got the fabulous Sean. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Long time no see. Nice to be here.
It's been a while, all of 5 minutes, but it's always good. Also joining us, continuing going around in the clockwise fashion, it's Alina. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all good.
And joining us as well, we've got Nick. Good evening,
my Eurovision friends. How are you?
It's great to see you on the panel. And also joining us, we've got Paul and Andrew. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, everyone.
Not the last minute this time.
I'm sorry?
Not the last minute this time.
No. We've had a fair bit of time to prepare.
Hey. Yeah. I'm pleased to hear it. Now, guys, do not forget, do keep the conversation going. We want to hear from you. Okay, like, comment, YouTube, X, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Facebook. Keep throwing the comments on YouTube. We love it when you participate and throw in your opinions as well for us to debate. Throw in the questions for us as well. We're going to get started straight away by looking at those songs that just didn't quite make the grade in Latvia.
Kur lai liek tās vaimanas, ja nav kur liekt. Don't be afraid, there's nowhere you can cross the line. No, I know you wanna. All I hear is la 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 la. Kitty cat, I wanna play with you. Kitty cat, if it's okay. You're the poison in my eye. You won't let me see what's there inside. Outside and tick-tock, what is waiting for us tonight inside? If you're thirsty on the cross. Whoa, love me, please me, don't you leave me. Love me, please me, kiss and squeeze me. Oh, love me, please. Выведем кохання на чисту воду. Выведем кохання, щоб повезло.
A number of entries there. I have to say, what is it about the Baltic states and cats? We had Vozinzi Katzen in Este Lol not that long ago, and yet coming third in last night's Supernova was the cat song. Do you know what, Phil and Michelle, because Michelle was dancing away to this. Let's go straight to you. Is it the year of novelty acts? Because normally a song like that, it wouldn't even hit the face of the planet, like literally. What's going on?
I don't know what's going on. There must be something in the water somewhere because everybody's gone mental. But to be fair, I loved it. It was absolutely brilliant.
It was a bit all over the place, but yeah, it was Kaya time again, Mark II, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was better than Katzen.
To be fair, it wasn't the only bonkers. Well, there was quite a bit of bonkers, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Was it?
I think normally they must get
So-
filtered out, so people mustn't be coming forward with proper songs. They're going, we need some fillers. What should we do? Stick the Mad Cat Lady in. That'll do. That'll kill 3 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
there
so
was,
intrigued, by the way, you guys, because obviously there was the Cats song, which came third. I also did notice songs like Kerr came second, and sadly, Mindbreaker came 10th. These were all songs, though, if I didn't know any better. I mean, were you guys involved in the selection for Supernova this year?
Well,
No.
we're not allowed to tell you that. We cannot confirm or deny if we had an involvement in it.
yeah, definitely not nothing to do with Ecto and Outsider. That was proper all over the place, wasn't it? It was fantastic.
Oh, do you know what? I'm just pleased you had fun, living your best life with those ones. Were there any you think that should have done better than they did? Any you would have
Yeah,
preferred?
I'm gonna put my spectacles on for this.
Oh, she's getting serious.
It was Ecto. So I listened to Ecto and I thought, I can't even tell you what genre the song is. It's really weird and fascinating, and it's bloody brilliant. I really liked it. I don't know what genre it is. I don't know what was going on stage, but it was a bit. It reminded me a little bit of Luke Black from last year. The sort of, but more extreme. And I think that's maybe why I liked it. But I think Ecto should have done better than it did.
I liked Rock and Roll Supernova as well. It was a bit sort of Stray Cat style rock and roll, wasn't it? I thought it was lots of fun.
Katrina. Obviously, yeah, the cat that should have gone. And I think I sort of liked half of Vestials until the man started singing. I really liked the gentleness of the song, and then he sort of spoilt it for me. But I definitely think Ecto. I think they've missed a trick there.
Definitely, yeah.
Awesome, thanks, guys. Let's move on. Let's go over to Nick. Hey, Nick. Let's think about some of these songs here. I mean, do you reckon there was enough variety in Supernova to begin with? And also, what about you? Would you have shaken up that leaderboard any more than it already was?
Well, actually, to answer your question about variety, we were like, I was listening it with my friend, and he was like, all these songs, the first minute sounds very decent, and then they totally go off the rails with those the bleep bleep and the yeah, and I didn't know what was going on there. There was actually one song of the whole bunch of those 9 songs that were not the winner that I actually found listenable, and that was the Funkin' with the Funkin' Biz. That was musically the most interesting for me. It was the one I actually heard actual instruments, which wasn't out of the computer, and it didn't at least give me a headache. So that was the only one, and the rest it was like, yeah, the Kitty Cat song was bonkers. I kind of like that on another level, not so musically, but then again, I'm allergic to cats and I don't eat pussy, so no. But the rest, oh yeah, the rest it was all this noise. I couldn't fathom anything. I couldn't make a song out of it. Sorry.
That's all right. Supernova can be hit and miss, can't it? I think, to be perfectly honest, I'm trying to. Was it the year after Marianne? Was it Hello from Mars? Bring back them.
Yeah.
LY, bring them back. They were fabulous. Right, I'll tell you what. Let's go on to Paul and Andrew as well. Let's get their take on the losers from Latvia. Who were your favourite Latvian losers?
Where do I start? I thought Latvia, of all the national finals I've watched so far this year, it was by far and away the best. It was absolutely brilliant show. I just loved it. I think probably 7 of the songs will be my playlist on Spotify. But you know, the young couple that began, I thought they were brilliant. I just thought it's really simple, melodic, beautiful vocals. Got a bit manic at times, but back to the beautiful vocals again. I really loved it. The second song, Have Mine, again, catchy, chart-friendly pop, very well sung, very distinct. I could hear every word that was sung. It kind of reminded me of like electro pop, sort of Pet Shop Boys-ish. Almost the Pet Shop Boys could have written it for them. And I'm a huge Pet Shop Boys fan, so that's a big compliment for me. The third song, Papira Lid Massinus, again, catchy rock pop, lots of la-la-las in it. I could imagine Ollie Murs singing that and making a big hit of it. Cat song, absolutely love it. It was just so catchy. I just love it. The Cat song, I just can't stop singing it. Ecto Outsider, dark, electropop. I wrote down, and I completely agree with Michelle. I wrote down here, Luke Black style was reminding me of early Human League songs from their albums, perhaps, and it was probably a really big grower. So I'll probably start enjoying that even more. I'll let Andrew. Do you want to do the rest?
Right. The thing I was just going to say is, Kerr brilliant. I thought Mindbreaker was quite a fun song. The Cat song, it was sort of like jokes entry, but it didn't joke enough. I think if they'd have taken it to the extreme, a bit like Finland, may have done better, but it was just for me. I absolutely loved Funkin' Biz, sorry. I thought that was absolutely amazing. I thought that was absolutely lovely, and the idea of getting a jazz song coming to Eurovision would have just been amazing. And I also, the other song that really sort of like struck me was Ecto. Again, it's one of those songs that I thought, because it was so young, it almost felt like it was an unfinished song. So if he'd have almost like put it in for next year, that could have been a really good song and actually done really well. But there's a lot, what I did notice with a lot of the Latvian songs, which I absolutely loved the show as well, they seem to be sort of like, a lot of songs have a lot of dark hidden meanings to it. And you just want to say, are you okay, hun, sort of thing.
That, do you know what? That would be funny. Just
Yeah, it was just sort of like, because the last song had this feel of sort of like it was a vampire dance track for the show.
Yeah. And the presentation was really good as well. And they used Ollie Alexander's Sweet Talker instrumental all the way through, which I thought was good.
Hopefully that's, you know, subliminal kind of gaining votes for the UK in Malmö. Let's move on to Elena. Elena, who was your favourite out of all of these?
Well, my favorite was actually the Alex Silver one. I really, really liked it, and not because he's a good-looking guy, but just because it was all of ticking my boxes. So I was like a little bit sad that he didn't win. I also liked Ecto, and the other ones I just thought were crap. And like the Kitty song, I was like, sorry, come on, it's for kids or they're straight dads, but I was like, really, come on.
Yeah,
And another show, not Eurovision, that will be like a high hit, but
it was a unique performance, wasn't it?
yeah, it
was
was.
a very unique performance. Brought something to the stage anyway.
Dads love it, I know.
We'll swiftly move on to Sean on this as well, just to finish all of this off as we look at the Latvian losers. I know, Sean, where do you even start with this? I mean, do you think Latvia needs to rethink Supernova next year?
I think maybe it was just a bit all over the place. You could argue that there was something for everyone. Maybe that might be a one way of putting it. But I mean, the Cat song, completely bizarre. I love it. Oh, Nick, quote of the season. It's not the most lyrically deep song that you'll ever find, is it? The Cat song, but it was a fun 3 minutes. It's not going anywhere, is it? I put on my comments when I watched it, this isn't going anywhere, but it finished third. So there you go. What do I know? Ecto, electronic, moody. I was enjoying it. I just thought the second part of the song was a little bit of a mess. I think they tried to be a bit too clever, a bit too arty. And I think it took away maybe from the song a little bit. I don't know. A bit too arty with the staging. I'm not sure if it works. I have mixed feelings about that one in the end. TikTok, I mean, what's a year? What's a year without a song called TikTok? I think every year has got to have a song called TikTok in its national selection somewhere along the line. Unfortunately, there's nothing about this that made me tick. It's just all over the place. It was just noise. It goes from one thing to another, to another, to another. Some songs do that well, but I thought this was very clever. It didn't do anything for me. Rock and Roll Supernova. Edward's been in it before, hasn't he? A couple of years ago. Open Road, I think his song was. And it was okay. I quite enjoyed it. It's country rock, country pop, I suppose you could say. If I'm starting to like country, does that mean I'm really getting old? I don't know. Answers on a postcard, please. And I don't know, for the show, I thought it was a decent song to end the show. He's got a good voice, lively upbeat number, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, so a handful of really decent songs in there. Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Sean. I was going to say, and now we move on to the pièce de la résistance. We are going to be moving on to let's take a look at the song that actually won. This is Don's with Hollow.
Oh, you'll see me cry in rivers I might drown. So cruelly, I'm drifting in and out of who I am. See, it's killing me slow, trying to make me just another believer. Yeah, I'd rather let them dig my grave shallow instead of sailing out of something so hollow.
Let's go straight to Alina. Alina, how's this going to do at Eurovision?
Well, it's a crazy year, so I have no idea. I hope it will do good because it's actually one I really like now. But I have no idea how it will do.
Do you see it as a qualifier?
I hope so. Because, yet again, I don't really like a lot of other countries at the moment. So it's definitely my qualifier. And also I like really the fact that it's like a whole package. Like a lot of acts are like the singing or dancing or the performance, and this one has it all. I mean, even him standing alone on stage doesn't feel empty. So I'm really happy that they choose this one.
Hey, brilliant. Thanks, Alina. Let's go across to, who should we go to? The Wheel of Life turns. Paul and Andrew, let's go to you guys. How important is it that Latvia gets all three elements of these, as Alina said, the staging, the performance, to have the whole package there? How important is that going to be for Latvia to guarantee qualification this year?
Well, I think for me, it was the song. I didn't rate it very much on the actual show, but when you listen to it again, and then a second, a third time, a fourth time, actually it comes and it's much deeper and it's better. So I think that's the one thing where it may struggle, in the fact that most of the Eurovision people who watch semi-final may have only seen this song once or twice, and then will it stand out from if there's a lot of other ballads? But it's it's a good song. It's one of those songs that I just think it just needs almost like a couple of dances, something just to engage with a little bit more for me.
Yeah, for me, Elena, I'm sorry. I just didn't like this song. It comes across to me, I wrote down, and I apologise if I offend anyone, but Duncan Lawrence meets Leonard Cohen meets Hosier meets Silence of the Lambs.
Oh,
Dressed up like Hannibal Lecter, and I just don't like the song. I just don't like it.
Do you know what? We are all entitled to our opinion, Paul. And do you know what? that is what makes us. That is what makes us all a diverse, brilliant group of Eurovision fans. Phil and Michelle, let's go to you guys. What do you reckon? Qualifier? Not qualifier?
Not a qualifier. I completely agree that with Paul on every word that he said about this song. It does absolutely nothing for me at all. Nothing. It didn't. I wasn't moved. I thought it was rubbish. I thought with everything that we'd seen from the whole show, and they picked that out of everything. No.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Michelle, I'm afraid. I thought he sang it very well. He's got a great voice. But it's just, I mean, it's not my sort of thing anyway. But I thought it just plundered along, and it was just a bit of a cliche Eurovision ballad for me. It may well qualify, but I don't think it'll do that well. And after seeing all of the other much more interesting songs, I thought this was just a bit too formulaic, I'm afraid.
Okay, cheers, Phil. I mean, guys, I'd hate to say that, you know, the panel seems to be in the minority here, but might be about to. There have been some really cracking comments in the chat, and thank you for them this evening. Donna said it's a beautiful ballad. The staging was very generic, but sometimes that can work not to detract from his vocal message. Anita says, I like the Latvian song, very beautiful. ESC Manga, I don't remember such a beautiful song from Latvia in recent years. Dan also chimes in here. Hollow is a really nice song. After hearing it for the first time this morning, there is a very Duncan Lawrence feel about it. So therefore, there will be some love for it in Eurovision. Little John UK also says, I really like the song. It's still going on in my head. And we'll leave the final words to our well-known ballad lover at ESC Fan TV. Gustav, who isn't with us on the shows at the moment, says, this is my winner as of now. And thanks for tuning in this evening as well, Gustav. It's always great to see you still watching us. And hello to you as well. Sean, let's go to you. We've seen a lot of novelty acts selected. Finland, case in point, Windows 95 man. Obviously, we saw the Norwegian song get selected. I mean, what Latvia is offering here is a beautiful ballad.
Yeah.
Surely there has to be space for that somewhere on the Eurovision stage this year.
I definitely think there is. And I think we could be potentially in a position where there could be 6, 7 or 8 crazy entries maybe this year. And this is going to stand out if that's the case. Now, this guy has got a cracking voice. He's got a really beautiful, strong voice. I really, really like his voice. He's a massive star in Latvia. He's had 8 albums out. He's won Song of the Year 5 times. And this is his 3rd time of entering Supernova. He's done it twice before, and he came second both times in 2010 and 2014. To be honest, you know, this time he's gone one step further. 3rd time lucky, he's won it, and I think it's thoroughly deserved. It's a really good, strong ballad, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. If a slight criticism, I think maybe they should work on the staging a little bit. There's plenty of time to do that between now and May. I think they're in for a decent result with this song. I really, really do. I just hope the public get behind it, because it'll probably do better off in the final than the semis. It's probably going to be a borderline qualifier because there's no juries in the semi-finals. So we'll have to see. But I hope they'll just get the staging right, and I think they should sail through to the final.
I mean, the semi-final, there's only 15 countries in the semi-final anyway, isn't there?
Yeah, but still. Yeah.
So, you know, we can keep fingers crossed there. Nick, you have the final words. You need to take yourself off mute first as well, though, Nick. It's all right. I think I can do that here. Hang on.
Yeah. This is not my computer, so I'm a bit older. Yeah, thank you for that. Latvia has sent beautiful songs in the past. For example, last year, that was such a moving song, one of my favorites, and thoroughly undeserved non-qualifier. Where they have this year a very predictable, ticking all the boxes, going from A to B to C to C to D. It doesn't stand out in any way except for his voice. And again, the first minute of the song, it really is promising. But then he's going to deliver his message in a more shouty way. It was like, okay, now you lost me. And in a year with so much hysterical songs, with so much bangers and so much colors and confetti all over the place, you really have to, if you are going to do a ballad, you have to really stand out and take the opposite route by keeping it small. I think then they had a chance to really progress to the final. And now it's borderline, like Sean said, but yeah, it's not a good song doesn't have to depend on the juries. I guess Duncan Lawrence got massive televote points and massive jury points. A good song has both, and this one, if it has to be dependent on jury votes to get through to the final, I think you have a problem then.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. That is a really good point. I mean, it's going to be, until we know all the songs for the semi-final, it's always going to be a close run thing. But do you know what? Wise words indeed, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed for Latvia. On, I can't remember what semi-final they're in. I'll be honest. On May the 7th or May the 9th. What semi-final they in? Someone. There's got to be someone on the panel straight away that knows what semi-final they're in. They're all shaking their heads. God dear.
It's semi-final 1, and if it's not, it's semi-final 2.
Do you know what? I'm gonna look this up. I mean, I'm as a consummate professional as ever, as I do this, and even then I can't find it. Where is it? They are in semi-final 2. There we go. So on the 9th of May, Europe Day, our thoughts will be with them, and we'll keep our fingers crossed. All will be well. Right, guys, Latvia, done. Throw your notes away for that one. Let's talk all things Melodifestivalen. And boy, have I got a couple of cracking questions waiting in the wings for you, Sean. Now, let's first of all start off by looking at the songs that either have made it through to the voting runoff or sadly have said bye-bye in this year's Melodifestivalen last night. I'm so pleased that Sean has preempted me with this one, because Sean, what's the flying in all names of everything that is decent was going on with that balaclava? And more importantly, what I'd like you to do is try and explain to you why, out of all the age group votings, it was 16 to 29-year-olds that voted that song 12 points when it came to the voting runner.
It's funny, isn't it? Shall I start with the ones that went home? Well,
oh no! Just start with Under and Freya. I want your opinions on this one straight away. We're cutting to the chase, my friend. Straight away.
Oh, so many questions. Why the balaclava? Why the horse? But I love it. Oh gosh. So her name Frokensdust means Miss Filth. I don't know if you know that. It means Miss. I've got. This is annoying. I tell you what, she
You
must have
can
been
always take the
boiling.
balaclava off. You know that, don't you?
No, because I'll take it off and then Michelle will go, oh, put it back on again. Something like that. So, and apparently the song, I'm from a reliable source, the song refers to kids drinking, playing loud music in the cars and having sex. And it's all in neon. She's on a horse. She's wearing a pink balaclava because that's her thing, apparently. And it... that's horrible. But I mean, it was 3 minutes of fun. It was 3 minutes of just lunacy, and like I say, every national selection needs that in there somewhere. Because let's face it, there's a lot of crap about. What else? Eliminated. What else got eliminated?
I mean,
what? No. What?
Let's just. I'm gonna pause with you here. I mean, just out of the songs there, having
Right.
talked about that song, obviously, do you think that there were any other songs like CJ, for example, that might have been their better place to go through, or am I just barking up the wrong tree here?
With CJ and Hoover, I've never really warmed to that kind of song, but this actually had so much potential, and I'd love to hear this with some kind of like Safri Duo style production in it. Can you imagine that? Some Safri, that would be immense. That would be so good, and it would make it an absolute anthem. But it just didn't sort of stand out. I love the dancers. They were giving it their all on that performance. Really, really liked the dancers. But I just think that could really be anthemic if they just give it a little bit of extra production. Like I say, Safri Duo would really stand out on that. Norland, I didn't really like that song at all. Not my cup of tea. I think that finished last, didn't it? And Dear Sarah, The Silence After You. Firstly, the backlit spotlight, I think, didn't it show all the dust? I thought, how dust is it in that studio? Someone needs to whip round with a kind of Mr. Sheen and a fibre cloth thingy.
Take more than a can of Mr. Sheen to do the Scandinavian.
Yeah, I know. It was a typical run-of-the-mill Melfest song, though, to be honest. It's okay, well sung, pretty standard. I can't see it getting one of the final 2 spots in the grand final. Because
don't go taking away my questions for my follow-up questions I've got jotted down here.
But I love Melfest. I was there last week in Malmö. I was there 3 times last year. That's the only one I went to this year. I'm not going to anymore. But I'd love to go every week. I just love it. I love it. And so it's all different this year as well, because we don't really have a proper second chance round as such, because they've thrown a few extra songs in there because the second chance rounds have been losing ratings over previous years. So they decided to have 5 heats, 5 semis of all new songs. So yeah, it's an interesting change to the format.
It's gonna be interesting, isn't it?
But yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna move on to someone else, Sean. But thank you as always for those comments. I've got a few more coming up, a few more questions for you later. Let's go to Paul and Andrew. Paul and Andrew, we've got obviously the voting was done last night. We know that Dear Sarah and Fukunsnerska have gone through to the second chance. CJ and Norland have actually gone out. But do you reckon the voting works? Do you think this whole idea of having that voting kind of works for you? Does that kind of... You reckon it worked last night?
The voting for different ages, or
the voting for the different ages. Do you reckon it works? Does it build up enough suspense for you? Is it?
I don't know. I think they've done it before, and I've quite liked the idea that they do it. I was thinking last night about how the BBC should do Melfest, something similar to Melfest, but they wouldn't be able to do it by voting, because how do you get a child to vote here in this country? Would it be allowed? I don't know. They would have to think that carefully. But yeah, I like the idea of different age votes. Always had them. So yeah.
And what was your take on the 4 Melfest songs we just heard?
Frock and Snoosk. What the actual F? That's what I thought last night. Honestly, as Sean says, why the balaclava? Why the horse? It's just weird.
It looked a bit like an art student's summer project.
And Sean, do you just happen to have a pink balaclava in your boudoir, or did you have to go out and buy one?
No comment.
I thought that Dear Sarah sounded a little bit like a Coldplay song. I think they could have written it for her. It's been quite anthemic, but probably one of their album tracks that nobody sort of really liked that much. The band, Engelmann's Kapelle Norland, yeah, catchy after hours pub song. If you was down the pub getting a bit pissed.
It's like country slager, and it reminded me very much of Texas Lightning.
Mm.
From
Oh,
Germany.
No, never. Yes, I can see that.
And the Sijo, that reminded me very much as well of Habba Habba from Norway.
Yes. Yeah.
My age there, but
Yeah, that was quite catchy. Quite like the African sounding beats, and yeah, it was a quite good round, I thought.
Amazeballs. Let's go on to Alina as well. Alina, what was just let's just have an overview of your opinion.
Okay, so even though I'm in the age gap who voted the most for Vroken, I don't pronounce.
Well, I wasn't going to mention that, but since you have, what the hell is wrong with your generation?
I don't know. My words are, what did I just watch? I don't even have her name down. I know who it was. I love the vibe. I love the energy of the song, but I bugged me so hard the pink. How you call it? The pink head. Oh, it annoyed me so much. Yeah. I hated it. Oh, I hated it. And I know that it's her whole concept and that's who she is as an artist, but oh god, I hated it. For the rest, I really like the song. The Ahuma one, for once, I love that it was not a Spanish song, that it was actually an African themed one. But yeah, it was an okay song, but for the rest, Dear Sarah, like we have seen that light bulb before. It was like Duncan Lawrence done otherwise. Like, and yeah, I have to mention it because it was made by a Belgian firm, I think. But I was like, yeah, next one. It's just like a knockoff bulb of Duncan Lawrence. And the Norland one was, I loved it, coziness.
Oh, it was a bit. To be fair, I did think Justice for Ziguba when I was listening to that, but maybe that's just me having flashbacks to
That's you.
MGP. Those were the days. Those were the days. Oh, we will come back to you for your opinions on Liamu and Maria Sir very soon. Thanks for putting all the comments in the chat, guys. They have been flashing up on screen, but I'm going to have to throw up some of my favourites on this one. Neil saying, a horse, my kingdom for a horse. Absolute classic. I can only imagine what was going through your head when you saw that. Gustav voted for Dear Sarah so much they said I couldn't vote anymore. Well, it worked, didn't it? She got on the voting last night. I mean, she, did incredibly well, didn't she? And came second overall in the vote. Donna says, another woman with a big glowing ball swinging around her. In a way, I prefer the UMK version to this one. Oh, Donna, really? You've just given Anita visions. She says, now I'll be thinking of you, Donna, every time there's a glowing ball swinging on stage. And also, From Little John UK, let's just point out this one. Sean has everything you need in the balaclava department. Just ask. ESC Fan TV After Hours coming to a YouTube near you.
glowing balls and everything.
Right, Nick, let's move on to you. Obviously, variety in all of these songs. What were we thinking of these 4 songs from Melfest last night?
Well, for variety, yes. Fucking Schnooks. Fucking Schnooks.
I don't think it matters how you pronounce it.
You know, I was thinking deeply, and I think I got it. I think she wants to conquer our hearts, you know, being this knight, female knight on a horse, but she's too ugly to look at. So maybe it's, you know, take me from, you know, she wants to do it from her inside and her pink horse. I don't know. That's my theory about it. You know, in order to get a message across in a song, I have to see your face. That's the number one rule for me in order to connect with someone, don't you think? So I really do not get this, or maybe I do not. I'm too old. That could be as well. Speaking of too old, the country song really gave me Eloise, you know, vibes. But that was a song from 1993, so maybe it's a classic song, a timeless, or it's dated. I'm not really sure. But it was enjoyable, actually. I was like humping on my, not humping, oh my God. I was just swinging along on my couch. Yes. And the African song, if you have to compare it with the only other African-themed song that ever competed in Eurovision, then is Africa for such a big continent? Is that the only genre they have there? Surely there must be some other types of African flavors to be added to this song instead of this Lion King adaptation. I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious about what Africa more has to offer than just this, because I already knew this. Still, it's a fair. It cheered me up, but I think it's good that I won't have to hear it again. And dear Sarah, yeah, with the Duncan. Well, this is the Duncan Lawrence lamp was a Belgian-made lamp. This was just a rip-off of the IKEA Knallenveur connection. You know, this was just, you know, good for her to throw it away because it was, you know, the lamp was shit, but the song was okay. It gave me a bit of Let It Go vibes. Also a Disney song. Yeah, a lot of Disney in my list this time.
Hey, thanks, Nick. Right, I think I've left the best till last when I say, Phil and Michelle, do your worst.
Right, number 1, I'd like to say, who has a pink balaclava at the drop of a hat? Only somebody with a cupboard.
Only someone with an Amazon Prime subscription, $6.99.
All right, so now at least we know Sean doesn't keep pink balaclavas in his cupboard. So what does he keep?
He probably does now because he's got one.
I think the only reason she's wearing a balaclava and she's on a big horse is because obviously she's going to do a robbery after the show. And that's how she funds her extravagant lifestyle.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought the song sounded a little bit Irish.
It was.
The music, yeah. But I thought the performance was a bit better than the song, to be honest.
I liked. Was it Sejo? I loved how happy and vibrant it was, and it sort of made you smile and it made you move, and I really liked it. Apart from, I thought the chorus was all right, but he sang over like a backing track for the verses, and it was a bit harsh. I think if he'd not had the backing track on, I think he would have sounded a lot better. So yeah, but I liked that. I thought it was all nice and beaty and dancey, and yeah.
I thought Engmas Capel, I'm going to say that really reminded me of Status Quo Margarita Time. I don't know if you remember that one, but I'm going to say that, yeah, there's one for the youth. But that song was so dated. And I like CJ as well. I did like CJ. But again, you know, that sort of African music was big in the 80s, and I don't know if it's as big now, but I loved it. It was a really jolly and happy song.
Yeah.
I wasn't keen on Dear Sarah. I thought that was sort of Melfest ballad by numbers.
Yeah,
you know.
I just put typical Melfest fodder.
If you like that sort of thing, I'm sure it's great, but it's nothing we haven't heard before for me, I'm afraid.
That's it. But I'm off to buy a pink horse and a balaclava.
So I love just Gustav. I love hearing you all butchering my language.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And guys, just out of curiosity, we've had just a general question to the panel. We've had 4 songs now through to the runoff. Elisa Lindström, Adam Woods went through last week. Obviously, we've got Flukenschnusk and Dear Sarah joining them now. Do we think any of these are actually going to get a ticket to the final, or have we not seen the ones that are going to get that golden final ticket yet? What do we think?
No.
I want to see Flukenschnusk again.
See what? Sorry.
The woman in the ski mask. I want to see that again.
I think there's enough mental songs. I don't think we need another one.
I do. I want to get £6.99 worth out of this.
I think you will.
You will. You will.
I do think they all had the potential to win Supernova.
This is very true. And as for Sean, if you're trying to get £6.99 out of that, well, if we hear about any suspect robberies in pink balaclavas, trying to get £6.99 out of a shop, we'll know where it happens, don't we? Oh, right. Okay, guys. Final video clip of the evening. Obviously, 2 songs went through to the Melfest final last night. They were Maria Sir, When I'm Gone, and Liamu was back. He went direct to final with Dragon. What do they sound like? Let's take a listen.
betyder ju förstås. I'm just like a bird. Waves are over me. Woo! Love me when I'm gone.
Two cracking songs there. I have to say, having experienced being in the arena in Luxembourg, having experienced being in Liverpool last year when certain songs were sung, I really hope the audience of Melfest was a little further away from the stage when those pyrotechnics went off in Liamu's song last night. Whew, it was going to be warm in there. Right, let's go straight to Nick for this one. What are we thinking? Liamu, Dragon, Maria Sir, When I'm Gone. What are our thoughts on these? Are either of these going to get Sweden's ticket to Malmö?
No. No, I don't think so. I'm hoping for something better. I haven't seen it yet. They both can sing. Boy can sing, girl can sing, no doubt about it. And I really liked the visuals on Maria Sir, but overall, both songs were just, the typical Swedish entrance to what you expect from Sweden, but since the last couple of decades, I think. But I need something more. Yeah.
That's fair enough. There is. Let's face it. Next week's lineup is looking particularly interesting.
Really
as
looking
well.
forward to see those. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I reckon, as always with this, the best is very much yet to come. Let's swing across to Phil and Michelle. Phil and Michelle, 2 songs there. I'm going to have to ask you, as I know you're in Liverpool as well. Liamu Dragon, is it me or does it sound a bit like the entry from Cyprus last year, Break a Broken Heart?
Yeah, I put down it sounded like something else and I couldn't quite put my finger on it, and that's exactly what it is. You can't watch it now on YouTube. They've taken it down. And I wonder
They
if...
always do, Michelle. The
Oh,
ones
do
that-
they? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
every song that qualifies for the final gets taken down, so that I think it's something to do with they don't want the public to see which is more popular before the final.
Oh,
They take
okay.
it all down.
Maria,
Yeah.
Maria was there.
Yeah.
It does make it very difficult when you're watching San Remo on a Saturday night.
Yeah,
And you have to listen to the songs afterwards. Yeah.
But SVT Play, I have to say, and they have it all bookmarked. You can just click on the songs.
Oh,
There they are. That is a good tip.
We're not supposed to be doing this. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought, I mean, I'll be honest, I kind of agree with what Nick said. I think they're both sort of your bog standard Melfest fodder. There's nothing wrong with them. They're nice enough songs, but they're just, I don't know, nothing really grabbed me. I suppose they're not my cup of tea anyway, but they were just a bit sort of plain.
I think Maria Sir, the issue that I had with it was the staging and the camera work. What was going on? The camera work was mental. It was all over. It was too sort of disjointed and all over the place, and bits of this and bits of that, and it really, really detracted from the song. There's something really fundamentally wrong with the staging and the camera work that they need to sort out for that. And I think it would be 100 times better. But I'm the same. Then neither of them are for me, really. So sorry, everybody in Sweden and Sean.
Oh, that's all right. Let's go to Paul and Andrew on this. Your thoughts on those 2 direct-to-final songs?
I have to say I agree with all of you, really. I thought Maria's it was good, but it just wasn't like it needed something to go to the next level. And the Dragon song, to me, it was very much the staging and the presentation were better than the song, and it just felt like it was a bit of a grower, but it just didn't actually grow enough. It's like a plant went up and then just went sort of thing.
Yeah, very generic, proper Melodifestivalen fodder, as everyone else said. I wasn't too impressed with Maria Sur, really. I just thought it fairly catchy chorus, but the verses were a bit bland. Liamu, I don't know how to say these things either. I apologise to all our Swedish friends. Thought his voice was very weak on the low register. It started the song very low, and I couldn't quite make out. But when he moved up, then it got better. And yeah, I completely agree with you, Tom, that I think the audience must have come away with sort of severe second-degree burns from all the pyro.
That was a lot of pyro. I have to say, up until I went to Liverpool, I'd never really experienced pyro in a stadium. Now, I was in the fan zone, but I was right at the back of the fan zone when one of the songs was performed in Liverpool, and the pyro came on, and I was like, "Bloody hell! How do people even stand at the front with these things?" Whew.
In Turin, we were quite way back from the stage, and there was like the waterfall between us. But as soon as the pyro came on, we felt every single one immediately. It's weird, but you really feel it.
I hope they had the emergency services standing by.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, guys. Let's dive into some of the comments. You guys are doing yourselves proud this evening. Let's start off with ESC Manga. Liamu is the best so far. Do you know what? I think I probably would go with that. It is the best so far. Then we've got Neil. These two are always going to go direct to the final. I liked both of them. I'm hoping we haven't seen the overall winner yet. Oh, absolutely yes, from Gustav's comment. I'm really hoping for a Swedish song this year. Do you know what? It would be lovely to see Sweden in Sweden with an with a Swedish song. It's a bit of a tongue twister, but you get my gist. And Anita says you are not the only one as well. Ginger Jesus, aka my former co-host Stu, is back in the chat as well. Maria Sir is a masterpiece as well. And also, just to highlight here as well, Donna says, thank you for clarifying how to watch. For those who were not able to watch live, it's not always obvious when you're not a regular viewer of particular national final shows. Yeah, STV Play, definitely the place to go for catching up when it comes to Melodifestivalen. It's great Sunday hangover TV, a bit like the Hollyoaks Omnibus used to be on E4, and there's one for the youth. Maria Sir as well, Steve just says, will finish higher than Liamu in the final. Let's go to Elena.
Yes.
Liamu, he's no Eric Sada, but
I know.
Does he still occupy a little piece, a little fragment inside your beating heart?
Oh, my beating heart only beats for Eric Saad, I'm sorry. Yeah, Liamu with Dragon, it's the year of the dragon, so maybe it's his year this year, who knows? I did like the fire and the outfit, but something in his act or in his song just somehow didn't fit or didn't came to me. And that way, I think Maria Sur is a bit stronger. And also, can we just say what a strong opener it was for Melodifestivalen with Maria Sur? And that's from me saying, and I didn't even like her last year. So she is growing on me, and I really like the song. But then again, I'm still hoping for something more, maybe Eric Sade, who knows?
You know he's not on the list of entrants this year, don't you?
You never know. You never know.
He might make a guest spot. Obviously, Petramid is back in hosting duties. I have to admit, I was very excited about that when I read that in work. Unfortunately, this was not shared by my colleagues. I was like, she's back. She's doing the third round of hosting. And they looked at me like I was a bit...
Eurovision without Petra.
Well, do you know what? They've known me long enough. You'd think I would have educated them long enough to actually know that, you know, this was a thing, but clearly not. Sean, final words on the qualifiers. It goes to you.
Oh, Liamu, Dragon. Like Elena said, yeah, Chinese New Year was yesterday. In fact, Chinese New Year, Year of the Dragon. Coincidence? Don't know. But in 2022, his song Bluffing also had dragons in the graphics behind him. So I don't know if there's any kind of weird link there or whatever. I don't know. Bluffing was fantastic. This, I think he only got through because it's Liamu. I really do, because I don't know. I think there's something missing in the song. I don't quite know what it is. Something doesn't work. Bluffing was so much better. I think there's a really cute moment during the winning reprise where it wasn't a random child he snatched from a woman, by the way. That was his daughter. And that was a really cute little moment there. You know, Anders Reitov had a really good night. He's a writer. He's a principal writer on both of those songs. He was there to congratulate both of them in the green room. Maria Sir, I've got a couple of comments down, and actually Stuart in the chat room read my mind. I said that this is an absolute stonker of a song. It is brilliant. And the fact that I think that this will outperform Liamu in the grand final as well. Another one of Stuart's comments, I completely agree with that. It's a brilliant song. She's got a brilliant voice. It's far and away the best song that I've heard, not just tonight, but I think one of the strongest songs this year in any national final so far. It is a really good song. The lights, the lasers were spellbinding. It was spectacular. This will do really well in the Melfest Grand Final. Will it win? I don't know. Too early to say because there's another 3 weeks of brand new songs to come, and they might be keeping some of the best till last. I've heard Danny Saucedo and Martin and Martinez, whatever they're called, can't remember. They've got really good songs apparently too. It's going to be very exciting.
Yes, it will. And on that note, guys, that is Melodifestivalen semi-final 2 done and dusted. Guys, thank you so much for your comments in the chat room. You have been amazing. There are so many things. Gustav said, just wait for San Marino. Gustav,
Gustav,
so excited for you.
We miss you, Gustav. You should come back on.
We are so excited for Gustav. He's turned his hand to some songwriting. And yes, he has got a song in the San Marino semi-final, which I do believe is coming up next week. Michelle, what is coming up next on the ESC Fan TV channel?
Don't know. I've killed Phil. Hang on, let me put my glasses on.
Empty going to you for all the goss.
Let's have a look. What date are we on now? This is the 11th, isn't it? So, oh no, you made me do it. It's Super Sunday next week. We kick off at 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. Central European time, with Moldova and the Estonian finals. Then at 7 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. Central European time, we have Lithuania final, finally, and the Denmark final as well. Then at 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Central European time, we have Melfest Heat 3 and the Germany final. So it's quite a busy Sunday. And I think, no, that's it. That's definitely it.
Excellent. So it's a triple header. It is a triple header next Sunday evening with ESC Fan TV broadcasting live to you on YouTube from 6 p.m. UK time. That's 7 p.m. Central European time next Sunday. I notice I've been given the German national final to header up with Melfest as well. We'll look forward to that. In the meantime, do keep the conversation going. X, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Facebook. Also, I know, you don't have to tell me. You were probably asleep last night when some of these guys were offering their views and opinions on this week's San Remo. So why don't you do your own triple header now? Go onto YouTube, catch the San Remo review show hosted by Andy Brooke. From what I remember, the opening was absolutely fantastic. I need to watch it myself. Yes, I fell asleep. Not going to lie. In the meantime, we will be back with you next week. Can we just say goodbye to the panel and thank you to the panel? Can we give a big wave, please?
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
We will see you next week. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.